Ladies and gentlemen, some good news. I have a text message here on our text line. One of the highlights of my week, Elias, finding out on CJAD this morning that they'd opened the third lane on that infernal bridge. The infernal bridge, of course, is the Tourtes Bridge. There's going to be another lane opening up, bringing the total number of lanes on the bridge is going to be up in a good amount. What are we up to? 5 in both directions. Quebec, however, is doing so by ending a lane that had previously been reserved only for buses. Let's find out more. Brenda O'Farrell is the journalist and editor and founder of the 1019 Report, which covers the other side of the Tourtes Bridge and also the 1510 West. Brenda, welcome back.
Good morning, Elias.
When this news came out, what was happening on both sides of the Tourtes Bridge? What was the celebrations like?
Well, it was... Yes, there is celebration, but this announcement came, this is, I think, maybe the fourth time they said they were going to open it. It was originally planned to open this so-called fifth lane back at the beginning of the summer, and they couldn't do it. So, yes, everyone is happy, but there's also the sentiment of finally. It was long awaited.
So what changed? What has allowed this to happen? If there's been such a wait for it, a pining for it, why did it take so long?
Well, it's part of an ongoing process that dates back to, if you remember way back when, a few years ago, the bridge was under construction and they closed it completely. There was this emergency closure. And everybody's saying, "Oh, is it going to fall down? What is the?" And the process of sort of fixing the bridge, if you will, continues. And it was only after, and so there was a complete closure. Then there was partial opening, and then they expanded that opening. Then, because of the nature of the work, they had to sort of tighten it up again and close it a little bit more. And now we have the final. But the crux of the matter is that ever since that time, the bridge has not reopened fully. And as you know, we reported way back when, basically the bridge will never fully reopen. It will be continuously under repairs until the day comes where they say, okay, we're going to stop repairing. And the very next day, they're going to start demolishing it.
And then the new bridge happens, right?
But that will only happen once the new bridge is up.
Yeah.
And so we're still a long way away from having a fully functioning bridge, because this bridge will never be fully opened. This is as good as it's going to get, what we have today.
So Brenda, when major construction projects like this happen, and I'm thinking about the La Fontaine Tunnel, right, and they're going through headaches on that side too. There's always, worry of what's going to happen traffic-wise. And then what you see is like there's sort of a self-regulation from people. People decide, okay, it's not worth it. I'm no longer going to travel during these hours. I'll delay if I can. I'll try and go earlier if I can. And people sort of self-regulate. They find other routes as well. But with what happened with the Tourtes, through all of that self-regulation, did we ever end up in a place that was manageable for the majority of drivers, like what has happened with the La Fontaine Tunnel?
Well, then also these major construction projects are happening. These are major access points to the island of Montreal. And all of this is happening not in isolation, but with everything else that's going on in the world. And the biggest change to our lifestyles and our work habits has been the pandemic. So when all this was happening, you had this hassle, you had all this work from home situation going on. And it's harder for people, especially on this side of the bridge, in the Vaudreuil-Soulanges area, to say, oh, well, how do you justify going back to the office when you're going to end up spending all this time in traffic? So, there's that sort of how much time you spend in traffic issue, but it's also what is the cost to the economy and the economy of different regions when all this is happening at the same time, because it's hard to get, and the other big thing that's happening is this pénurie de main-d'œuvre,
labor shortage.
The labor shortage. Sometimes I'm looking for my terms in English here. So companies are hesitant to impose too much hardship on employees, thinking, what happens if they just quit on us?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of these things are swirling around in this tangled mess. So it's and what is the cost? It's not just time. There's an economic cost to it. There's a lifestyle cost to it. There's all sorts of things that are very hard to quantify that are going on here. But the bottom line is, the government has a duty to maintain its infrastructure. And in the case of the Île aux Tourtes, yes, you have to do, regular maintenance. But that was ignored for decades to the point where how can you be spending so much public money on something that you're going to destroy? And it's not like the La Fontaine Tunnel. They're upgrading it. That they're doing maintenance to upgrade that major link, and it's going to continue to work. But all the money they're putting into the Île aux Tourtes is going to
it's to eventually be demolished. Let me read your text message here, Elias. I teach at a high school in St. Anne's, and we had a few teachers leave due to bridge traffic. The consequences are real. Brenda, to wrap this up, through your reporting on all of the hassles here, are the consequences? Have you seen other stories where the consequences are real?
Yes, absolutely. And the people that are paying the price are all on the island of Montreal, in the sense that the economy of the island is taking another hit. You have the fastest growing area of the province, which is west of the island, saying, you know what, it's too much of a hassle to get into Montreal. Yeah. And that has a cost. So, and it's a cost to the island of Montreal. You can list how many ways you want to quantify it, but that's where the cost is going to be paid.
Brenda, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for coming on this morning. Always a pleasure to talk about things on the West and further beyond.
Have a great day.
Brenda O'Farrell is the founder and editor of the 1019 Report and the 1510 West.